Hello my friends, David Kessler here and welcome back to the studio. Today I'm answering a question from a student, and their question was, what do you do about refunds for artwork? For instance, if somebody gets a painting, they don't like it, they want a refund, how do you handle that? I think there's, in a million artists, there's probably a million, each one would tell you a different approach that they might have to that situation. What I do, I can only tell you what I do. My approach is I don't do refunds of artwork. I'll do an exchange for a painting of equal or greater value, but I will not do a refund. Whatever approach you take, on the platforms where you sell your artwork, let's take website for example. If you sell on your website like I do, you need to have a written policy on the website that says what your refund or exchange policy is. You have to have that in writing to protect yourself, number one, and so that the party buying the artwork knows the parameters by which they're buying the painting. And I have on my website, there's a 10-day period in there where you can get an exchange you can exchange a painting for another painting of equal or greater value within 10 days. Now, if you send that painting back, you as the customer have to cover the shipping cost of sending it back. But that's written on the website, on each art page, so that you know, or so the customer knows, the buyer knows what those parameters are and what the policy is, so that once they buy the artwork, they've agreed to that policy. And I don't think it matters what your policy is. It matters that you define it wherever it is that you sell artwork. That's the key. Define it so that you know what the policy is, and so that the buyer knows what the policy is. You can give exchanges, refunds. I don't think it's a good policy to do that. Once somebody makes a commitment to buy the artwork, I think they bought the artwork. I'd be happy to exchange it for them if they see another piece that they like that's at least of equal value. And we're not talking about exchange of something that's half the price. It has to be the same price or higher for the exchange. A refund for me, somebody pays $2,000 or $3,000 for a piece of artwork, a refund's just, for me, is not reasonable. An exchange is reasonable, but a refund is not reasonable. And I take, a lot of precautions to make sure that the images that I put on my website of the artwork are as close as humanly possible to what the artwork looks like. And I describe it thoroughly in terms of what kind of canvas it's on, that the edges are painted black, that it's ready to hang, and all these other sorts of things, the size, the materials used, and all that. So there's a good description on there and a good image of what the painting actually looks like. So there shouldn't be any issue when someone's buying it. Now, if you don't have a written policy and you have poor images, meaning the color is not accurate to the painting, or they're blurry, or something else, or if you don't properly describe the size and the materials used and that sort of thing on your platform, then you're leaving it open to issues. You have to define the parameters as tightly as possible for you and for the buyer, so that they know what they're buying when they buy it. And that alleviates a lot of problems. If you don't define those things up front, then you leave yourself open for problems and issues to arise later. So you have to CYA, you have to cover yourself, right, wherever it is that you sell your artwork. Okay, hope this was helpful for you. Share it with your friends if you think they'd be interested. Subscribe to the channel if you're not yet a subscriber, and follow me to a workshop. Join me, paint with me for 3 or 4 or 5 days, whatever it is, on the workshop schedule, which is linked below, and I hope to see you there, and I hope to see you on the next video. Thanks.